Hey you guys, what's going on? This is Meiji from Brave New World. I just want to come out and say that I am so sorry for the lack of videos lately. Recently I've lost my computer. I lost the charger to my camera, to my HD video camera, so I couldn't use that to film anymore. I have been in Buddyfight a lot. My girlfriend's come from Switzerland, and she came here to visit me, and we buddy fought, and we were very active. And I just didn't really have time to record. I have a couple videos I can upload from my phone. We bought a huge box. We got some stuff from Bushi Road. But I just haven't been able to upload any videos, and I want to apologize for that. I want to apologize to, like Bushi Road for not being able to get their product out there, and I want to apologize to just all of the viewers that we have. And so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a new box opening. And this is the box opening for Break to the Future. First of all, the box is absolutely beautiful. This is the coolest box that I've seen so far. And as you know, this set is a 135 card set. Alright? There's 12 special rares, 10 triple rares, 15 double rares, 30 rares, 34 uncommons, and 45 commons. Alright? So, you guys should already know 5 cards per pack. The main archetypes or main worlds in this deck are going to be Darkness Dragon World, Cotton World, and Magic World. There are also generics, as you can see right here, and we'll get into those when we see those. I did open some boxes already. I apologize that they weren't on the release date. Like I said, things have been really hectic. I just want you guys to forgive me and know that I'm going to come back with some videos. For a while, they may be raw. They may be some raw videos, no edits. If I mess up in the video, it's probably still just going to go right up. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this box opening. Alright. Open this up. Now, I know a lot of people are excited for this set because of Purgatory Knights. Now, Purgatory Knights are very, very strong if you can make a consistent build. Alright, also, you get one of four flags? 4 flags. You get one of 4 flags. This is obviously a usable, playable flag. This is Dragon World, but it's got Gao on it. Magic World has Tetsuya. Darkness Dragon World has Tsuku, and Katana World has Zanya. Alright, so let's get right into this first pack. Here we have Obsidian Mane Grieva. This is a black dragon. We have Death Ruler Skull. It's a new Death Ruler. Black Armor. This is a counter that reduces damage by 2 for Darkness Dragon World. This pack is like all Darkness Dragon World. We have Purgatory Flame that resides within the body. This destroys the Purgatory Knights and nullifies an attack and deals damage equal to the crit. Now, Purgatory Knights all revolve around destroying their own monsters. And already, right off the bat, first pack is a double rare. This is Electric Speed Ninja Inazuma. Very cool art, very nice card, just 1 gauge with double attack. Size 2. Pretty well-rounded card. Next pack, we have a new Drago Wizard. Drago Wizard Mitschuler. Alright, 1 gauge to call out, really good attack power. Another new ninja, Runaway Female Ninja Yukishiro. And she nullifies spells by sending her to the drop zone and paying 1 gauge. Very good card. Dragonic Survey. This is just destroy a spell in your opponent's field. Free cast. Not a counter, though. Alright, we have the first new Secret Sword formation. This is Secret Sword Glittering Star. It stops a link attack, deals 5 damage. This is really good when going up against things like Dungeon World. It would be a good sideboard. And the rare for the set is, or the rare for this pack is Lamenting Black Steel Balomda. Balomdal? Pay 3 gauge. When it attacks, deal 1 damage to your opponent. This is a black dragon, so it will go Spectral Strike, and it can also penetrate, so 4 damage total it can deal. So, that's a pretty good card. I would run it if I was running a size 3 deck. Next pack. Water Technique Shino Tsukami. This is a water monster for the new water archetype. As you can see down here, it says water. Water is a new archetype that was not introduced, but was really touched on in this set. All water monsters on your field get power and defense plus 2,000. So this is a really good boost, especially if you're running super lethal formation, which gives them all an extra 1,000. This is another water card. This is Demon Way Kiribusuma, and it reduces damage by 2. We have a parallel rare, Dragon Knight Hartman. She is the parallel, or the rival to Dragon Knight Red Baron. And same thing, moves. But it's a size 2, so you can have both. Next we have Gentleman Malphus. When Warrior Halphus is on the field, he gets an extra 2,000, 2,000. Alright, so he'll be a 3,000, 5,000. And the rare is Solomon's Barrier. This is a really good card. Just 1 gauge, turns all your 72 pillars that are size 2 into size 1s. This is a wonderful card. Next up, and I apologize that I cannot really edit these videos this week, or I don't know how long until I'll be able to edit videos again. I'm going to apologize. Here we have Purgatory Hymn, the cursed being of the faraway homeland. If you have a Purgatory Knight in its card name on your field, your opponent's monster in the center gets defense minus 2,000. So, you weaken their defenses. You can stack those. We have Sky Poet Amon, who is an Art, 72 Pillars Art card. Art is another new archetype that was touched on. It was introduced in the promo a while back. But this is a new archetype that's touched on in this set. Right, I'm sorry that my hands are a little shaky. I'm not sure why. We have a new Tarot, Actor Knight's Tower for the generics. I don't really see a point in this. It's got okay attack power. Its crit is really low. It is a destruction, which helps out with the new size 3 generics, which maybe we'll pull. We have Death Game. Pay 1 gauge, play rock, paper, scissors with your opponent, and the fighter who wins destroys a card on the field. This is a good card if you have nothing on the field to lose, and your opponent does, then you can't lose. And then we have No Pain, No Gain. This is a new Magic World spell where you pay 2 gauge, draw 2 cards, and discard a card from your hand of your choice. This is a really good card if you are having a little bit of trouble. You can draw 2 cards and get rid of something you don't need. It's an amazing card that has saved me a lot of times already. And up next we have Hades Knight, Goldba. Pay 1 gauge, and when this card is attacked for the turn, nullify the attacking card's penetrate. So there are a lot of new cards that say nullify the attacking card's penetrate, and I'm not really sure if I would fill a deck with those. Maybe sideboards against Thunder Knights, or even a Final Form Seeger if you're playing something like that. But yeah, this is a new archetype, Black Knight, that was introduced in this set. Here we have another Dragon Knight Hartman. Here's another Black Knight, Hell Rapier. And he is a Black Knight with the same stats as Thousand Rapier. He is the darker version of him. Here we have the new Trolling card, Pain Field. Pay 2 gauge and take 1 damage, not pay 1 life, so you can reduce the damage. When an attack of cards on your field is nullified, deal 1 damage to your opponent. You may only set 1 Pain Field, and your opponent cannot gain life other than Buddy Gift. So, this is really trolly against Dragon World, specifically against Blue Sky Knights. They cannot gain life, and when they nullify their attacks, they lose a life. It's a really good card. And the first triple rare of the set is Black Dragon of Demise, Death Talica. This is a Deep for the new Deep type deck. Pay 4 gauge, then put all Deep from your drop zone into this card's soul. When this card is attacked, or when this card would leave the field, you may get 3 cards from this card. Put 3 cards from this card's soul to the bottom of your deck to nullify the attack, or prevent this card from leaving the field. This card may not get Soul Guard, and it has double attack. So, its ability is a bit like Soul Guard, although you have to get rid of 3 cards. However, if you stack your drop zone, Death Talica will probably have maybe around at least 10 in his soul if you're lucky, which will allow you to use his ability 3 times to stop him from leaving the field. So just think of it as a buffed up soul guard, alright? Or buffed down, depending on your take of it. Alright, we have Bestie, which is a new Magic World counterspell. Reveal 72 pillars in your hand. Choose 72 pillars in battle, and for this turn, its power and defense is increased by the power and defense of the card revealed, and give it counterattack. This is kind of like the 3k buffs that almost every other world gets. Hand of Muramasa Katsukyo. This is a Black Knight as well, and if you have another deep on your field, this card gets Penetrate. So, pretty good in a deep deck. This is a Black Dragon, Unfulfilled Desire, Greedy Bake. Pretty well-rounded stats with 2 crit, just a size 1 if you want to run a Black Dragon deck. And here we have Warrior Halfus, the other side to Gentleman Malphus. And if both of them are on the field, he also gets a 2/2 buff, so his stats will be the same as Malphus, but reversed. And look at this. This is beautiful. We have pulled a special rare Distortion Punisher. I'm not sure what the price of this is, but it is absolutely positively beautiful, and I know I am not getting rid of this for anything. Now, if you don't know Distortion Punisher, it is pay 4 gauge. You may only cast this card and use one of the following abilities. Deal 4 damage to your opponent as long as neither of you have a monster in the center, or Counter Final. During your opponent's final phase, you may use this card when your opponent casts an impact and deal 4 damage to them. So, if they cast Gargantua Punisher and you cast this as a counter, this will activate first. Alright? Even if the world is distorted, I want to return to it. That is, if I can. This was a really good pull. Up next we have Burn Ship Soul. Pay 3 gauge and discard 1 card from your hand and destroy a card on the field. Now, I'm not really sure where I would use this. They have a destruction card. Tarots have a destruction card that is a bit better than this because you can cast it for free. We have our first Dark World size 0, Darkness Dragon World size 0, Death Ruler Jespensed. This is a Death Ruler, obviously, with pretty well-rounded stats. We have a Blue Sky Knights in this set. Blue Sky Knights Bondblade Dragon, pay 2 gauge, Water Crystal Explosion. When this card enters the field, destroy a size 1 or less monster on your opponent's field and gain 1 life. Very good card, only a size 1. Actor Knight's Death, we have a new Actor Knights, pay 1 life. Now, he has a bit of Spectral Strike. When an attack by this card destroys your opponent's monster, deal 1 damage to your opponent. Please note that he is a Death archetype, so he can be run in a Death deck. And we have Nightmare Revive. Take 2 damage and choose up to 2 size 2 or below monsters with Death Ruler in its card name from your drop zone and put them into your hand. This is the recyclability for the Death archetype. Okay, next we have Knight Counter. This is a new Dragon Knight support card. You can only cast this card during attack on your opponent's during an attack by your opponent's size 2 or less monster, And if you have a Dragon Knight on your field, pay 3 gauge, destroy all size 2 or less monsters on your opponent's field. This is a devastating card. We have Striking with the Back of My Sword. This is a burn card for Katana World. You may only cast this card when you have dealt damage to your opponent with a weapon. Deal 2 damage to your opponent, and if your opponent's life would become 0, due to this damage, your opponent's life becomes 1 instead. We have a parallel rare of what we just had pulled. Parallel rare of Knight Counter, which is pretty good. We have another new generic card. It is 1 Oracle for Tarot. Put the top card of your deck into the drop zone. If it is a monster, deal 1 damage to your opponent, and if it is not a monster, you gain 1 life. You may only cast 1 Oracle once per turn. And a new Skull Warrior with Move. His stats are very low, with a decent crit for a size 1, and again, he is a Skull Warrior. His name is Diversion Troublemaker Bakimujina. Sorry that this is taking a while, you guys. We have Armor Dragon, White Dragon. This is a Purgatory Knight Silver Staff Dragon, size 1 with very reasonable stats. 5,000 attack, 4,000 defense, and 1 crit. We have another new generic, Actor Knight's Strength, with very well-rounded stats. We have Bloody Dance, which is a counterspell for Deep. It's a 3k counterattack. We have the new impact for Dragon World. Of course, they need another one. Cavalry Arts, The Glorious Legacy. This is pay 2 gauge and draw 3 cards. Alright, you can only cast it once per turn. And a new size 2 for Magic World. This is a 72 pillars, also an art. The cast cost of your Magic World spells is reduced by 1 gauge. This is an amazing card, and I would highly recommend running it in any Magic World deck. And we have Separate Whip Dragon. If he's the only monster on the field, he gets a buff. We have Demonic Dark Emperor Grobius. You may only call this card if you have 5 or more Black Dragon in your drop zone, and he Spectral Strikes for 2. Very amazing stats for a size 2 monster, and he has 0 crit. We have a very simple size 3 Dragon World monster that is easy to bring out with just 1 gauge, Behemoth Claymore Dragon. We have Black Agenda, which is a revival card for your deaths. This is a very good card, which is highly recommended for a death deck. When a death monster on your left and right is destroyed, you may pay 1 gauge, and if you do, choose a size 1 death monster with a different card name from your drop zone and rest it. You can only set 1 Black Agenda. And the new size 3 Actonite's Judgment. You pay 3 gauge, and when he enters the field, if there are 5 or more Tarot in your drop zone, draw 2 cards. If there are 5 or more Destroy in your drop zone, destroy up to 2 cards. And if there are 5 or more Defense in your drop zone, gain 3 life. If all conditions are fulfilled, you can use them all. This is a very good card for a Tarot deck. Almost about halfway through. We have Actonite's Strength again. Death Ruler, Deathcution, a new Death Ruler with move. We have a parallel of Life Dwells in the Flame of Hades 2. This is a card that you may only cast when you're dealt damage, and it allows you to draw. If you have a Purgatory Knight, you can draw again. Redemption Blood. You may cast this card when Death Ruler is destroyed. You discard a card from your opponent's hand. And another new Secret Sword. Secret Sword Comet. Now, when you're attacked with a monster with 5,000 or more, you can destroy it and deal 3 damage. Alright. This we have seen. This we have not. This card is attacked. For this turn, nullify the card's Penetrate. Alright. Perfect Beauty, Hyoshi Shirasagi. Okay. Gold Dragon Shield. This is, of course, the new Dragon Shield for Dragon World. Pay 1 gauge. The next time you would be dealt damage, it is reduced to 0. Celtic Cross Speed. This is pay 1 gauge. Call a size 2 or less generic monster from your drop zone by paying its call cost. And we have another Distortion Punisher. Just for the sake of comparison, here is the rare. Here is the special rare. Some special rares have alternate art. This one does not. However, it is still 100% beautiful. Next, we have Crazy Wolf, a new Dragonite with good stats. Demon Swordsman Deathstorm. This is a Black Knight, a Death, and a Deep with Lifelink 1 and really well stats. We have a new generic Actonite's Tempest, and when he enters the field, you can put a Tarot into your gauge. Epic Fail is a very good card with 2 uses. One, if you have a Drago Wizard, it can send your opponent's monster to the gauge, and if you do not, it can send it back to their hand. And we have a triple rare, size 3 monster that is treated as a size 0. Pay 2 gauge. If you have a size 2 wizard on your field, reduce the size of this card by 3, and it has double attack. Another very good card. Here we have Diamond Shield Dragon. It's a size 1 with 7k defense. We have Thirsting Creature Zanzara. When this card enters the field, you may put a card from the soul of a card in your opponent's field into the drop zone. Seeger Hate. Fang Style Kibasashi, which is a size 3 ninja, also a water. Pay 2 gauge, double attack. This is a 4k defense for death and counterattack. And we have Great Spell Devil's Rock and Roll. This is the new Great Spell for 72 Pillars. Pay 4 gauge, pay 1 life, return all size 2 or less monsters in their owner's hand, and put the top 5 cards of your deck into the drop zone. Call up to 3 72 Pillars monsters from among them by paying the call cost. I prefer Saturday Night Devil Fever, but I have seen them used in unison. Next we have Death Ruler Asphyxia, vanilla card. We have Dragon Arms Drago Keeper. 6k attack, 1 crit, pay 1 gauge, and other than damage dealt by an attack, damage to you is reduced by 1. Purgatory Knight's Iron Gird Dragon. Purgatory Knights with well-rounded stats. Blade of Athame. This is a equip for generics. And when this card is equipped, look at the top card of your deck and put it at the top or bottom. And then you have Zweihander Dragon. This is kind of like Demon Godel. He gets 1 gauge and a soul, and he has counterattack. So he will counterattack no matter what if he is attacked. We finished one side. Let's move on to the next. Another size 0. Another Hartman. This is a size 1 with 0 crit, but amazing stats for Magic World. Just amazing. It is an art. Demon Realm Scholar Person. Life dwells in the Flames of Hades as well. This is Divine Demon Slayer Aminu Habari. Alright, he is a size 3. He's kind of like a Katana World size 3. Pay 2 gauge with double attack. Okay. Next we have another song. This is a size 2 Purgatory Knights with good stats and 3 crit. We have a parallel of the new art card. This is the center of the art deck. Pay 1 gauge, set, counter. When your opponent casts a spell, pay 1 life and discard an art from your hand. If you do, nullify the spell cast by your opponent. You may only use this ability once per turn. However, you may set more than 1. Keep that in mind. We have Purgatory Knight, Cruel Command. Pay 2 gauge to bring him out. You can destroy another Purgatory Knights to destroy a card on your opponent's field. And Overstand. You may only cast this card when you deal damage to your opponent. Put cards from the top of your deck into the gauge equal to the number of damage you dealt. Very good card for gauge. We have another one of these. This is new. This is a new Drago Wizard. Alchemy Gun Atmos. Atmos is his ability. Pay 4 gauge, and if you do destroy a card on the field, you can use Gotcha with this if you like. Drago Wizard Gun Alchemia. We've seen this. This is Oops for Katana World. Pay 2 gauge, return a monster, item, or spell card on the field into the owner's hand. And the rare is Death Astray. If your life is 4 or more, your life becomes 3. You can discard all cards from your hand and draw 4. You can only cast Death Astray once per turn. Getting some pretty good stuff so far. We have another Knight counter. This is Loud Laugh Ninja Fugumaru. Just a size 1 ninja with a very good defense. Another size 3. This is a new evolution card, Ultimate Sword Dragon. Pay 1 gauge. You may put an Extreme Sword Dragon from your drop zone into this card's soul, and it has Soul Guard. And a double rare, Dragon Knight Spartax. Pay 3 gauge and put up to 3 Dragon Knight from your field into this card's soul. He has Penetrate and Soul Guard. Next we have Crisis Field. Pay 1 gauge. All monsters with Spectral Strike get power plus 2,000. We've seen this. We've seen this. And Dragon Knight Bokuden, one of my favorite Dragon Knights so far. When this card enters the field, look at all of your gauge, choose as many Dragon Knights as you like from among them, and put them into your drop zone. Then, put cards from the top of your deck into your gauge equal to the number of cards you put into the drop zone. So you lose absolutely nothing. And another Magic School Sephiroth. Next, we have Diamond Shield Dragon, Death Ruler, Deathcution. We've seen these. This is 1-to-1 with amazing looking art. Set, if both of you and your opponent have an item equipped, both items get +1 critical. And Death Ruler Averia. Death Dive instead of Shadow Dive. When this card is destroyed by your opponent, deal 1 damage to your opponent, even if this card is destroyed by attacks or effects. So your opponent's going to take 1 damage regardless of how they get rid of it. We've seen this. We've seen this. This is a parallel rare Blue Sky Knight's Bondblade Dragon. This is Secret Sword Glittering Star. If you are being attacked with a monster... If you are being link attacked... Oh, this is the link attack one. I believe we did see this one already. And we have Check It Out. This is Pay 2 gauge, returns all your monsters back to your hand, and you can call whatever you like. We have seen this, we have seen this, we have seen that, we have seen this, and this is Dragon Trust. Pay 2 gauge, put this card into the soul of a size 2 or less monster on the field, and if this card is in the soul of a size 2 or less monster, that monster gets Penetrate and Soul Guard. We have seen this, seen this, seen this. We have not seen this one. This is Great Labrys Dragon. If there are no other monsters on your field, this card gets Power 2000, Defense 2000, and Treachery Jackie Karasu. Pay 1 gauge, and it is a Skull Warrior with move. We are almost done, folks. We have seen this, we have seen this, we have seen that, seen this, and we have not seen this one, Morningstar. Same thing as Comet. If you are attacked with a Power 3000 or less monster is attacking you, destroy it, and deal 3 damage. We have a parallel of Perfect Beauty Hyoshi. This is Disperser of Conflagration Shiromuzushi. Pay 2 gauge, and at the end of this turn, destroy this card. And Brutal Disaster. This is another new impact card for Deep. If you have a size 3 monster, pay 1 gauge, discard 2 Deep, and deal 4 damage. Very, very useful card when running a Deep deck. I am not seeing what I'm looking for. I'm actually looking for the new Dragon Knights. We have seen this. We have seen this. Seen this. This is basically a Halberd Dragon in dark form. Pay 1 gauge, and if you have another Purgatory Knight, this card gets move. And the first size 0 of Dragon World. This is Missile Bunker Dragon. At the end of the battle of this card, put this card on the bottom of the deck and put the top card of your deck into the gauge. This also has Penetrate. Alright, let's keep it rolling. We've seen this. We've seen this. We've seen this. This is Axel End. Put 5 cards from the top of your deck into the drop zone and put the top card of your deck into the gauge. This is for Deep. And we have Street Racer Eligos. This is a very intense card. During an attack on your opponent's turn, pay 1 life. If you do, call this monster from your hand to your center and change the target of the attack to this card. When this card is destroyed, you may pay 1 life. If you do, return this card to your hand. It is an endless protection. We have seen this, seen this, seen that, seen this. And Death Ruler Mastermind. Pay 1 gauge when this card enters the field. If there are no other monsters on your field, you may call a size 1 or less monster with Death Ruler in its name from your drop zone. Got a little bit of revival going on for them. And the last pack is Bestie. Seen this. We've seen this. We have seen this. Merlin. This is a size 2 with 4 crit. Pay 1 gauge to bring him out. And the new Dragon World card, Venom Harper Dragon. When this card deals damage to your opponent, put the top card of your deck into the gauge. So that is it for this box opening, folks. I may come with another one where I show you cards that we haven't seen in the previous box, because there are several cards that we have not pulled yet. I will be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. And thanks for watching.